Oh, welcome back, folks. Well, FSU drops its third straight and loses to number 4 Clemson, 34-28. Odd game, frustrating game. Not the fact that they lost. I expected a loss. I expected a close loss, and it ultimately turned out to be close, but obviously there was a long stretch of the game where FSU was down 3 scores, largely due to just mistakes at the wrong time. FSU actually finished with about 100 more yards than Clemson. You wouldn't know it, seeing how they had to fight and claw back to lose within 6 with an onside kick. But it was situational football, and we've seen this crop up with the staff time and time again, whether it's red zone. Just the staff or Mike gets galaxy brain in the red zone. And like the biggest example of this was we got the PI in the end zone. It was first and goal from the 2, come away with 0 points. First 2 downs, you throw fades to Wilson. I could understand maybe on first down, or at least one of the downs, and first down would make the most sense because statistically, first down is the most successful down to throw on. But to do it again on second down, I'm like, we are gashing this team running. A Clemson defense that had given up only like 60 yards rushing a game. We fucking ran all over their asses. So that was frustrating on that particular drive. Throwing a fade the first 2 fucking plays. Then third down, you got Travis scrambling for his life. And then fourth down, well, you're fucked. They're dropping 8 into coverage or whatever it was. The fake punt. Normally, I wouldn't mind the fake punt. You're down 3 possessions. I think they were down 17 at that point. But it was either early or mid-third quarter. It just felt too early to do that. It was also on our own, like, 30-something yard line. It was pretty backed up. Had that been midfield or maybe slightly on Clemson's side, I could have understood it. The fourth down call, I think in the first half, going for it makes sense. We have Fitzgerald. He sucks. Man, and this is less about the play call and more on Travis. We had a guy open in the flats, and Travis went for Wilson, and it was broken up. It's just situationally, it's usually like on a big third down, whether offense or defense, or in the red zone on offense. Just situationally, we're just not there yet for whatever fucking reason. Some of it's players not executing, but a lot of it is coaching decisions. And again, I'm not mad that we lost what turned out to be a close game. And don't give me Clemson was playing. Clemson had their starters on. They were trying their asses off. Dabo was barking his fucking head off all the way to the end of that game. And we had 100 more yards than them. It wasn't like we didn't belong on the field with them. Like, the reason they got out to the big lead is because literally the biggest fuck-ups we could do, we did it. Fumble right before half leads to a score. Give up a gigantic kickoff return to start the second half and then give up another score on a trick play. Like, it went from a close score to lopsided really quickly. And it wasn't because we were getting outplayed on a down-to-down basis. Again, outgained them by 100 yards. But just situationally, we sucked ass. And I'm tired of seeing it. So there's 5 games to go. During this last 3 games against all 3 ranked opponents, I was like, I'll take 1 and 2. You're probably going to be underdogs in 2 of the games, so I think 1 and 2 is fair. Well, you just went 0 and 3. Okay? You should have, seeing how it played out, you should have won versus NC State. You fucked that up and blew it. Now you're 4 and 3. That's about where expectations were coming into the season. You can't sit there and tweet out, did anybody expect 4 and 3? No, I think a lot of people expected probably 4 and 3 right now. So those narratives go out the fucking window. And now you have 5 games left. Georgia Tech and Louisiana should be W's. So can you win at least 2 out of 3 against Miami, Florida, and Cuse? You should. Those are all winnable. All 5 games remaining are winnable. Bare minimum, got to go 3 and 2 the last 5. All games are winnable. Like, Florida's at home. Florida has no defense at all. Miami is probably a worse team than Florida, and it's on the road, but it's at their rented stadium. So it's not really some ridiculous atmosphere, okay? Cuse is probably the toughest left. They're 6-0. They just stomped NC State, okay? That might be the toughest of those three. Again, you should not lose to Georgia Tech. You should not lose to Louisiana. But of those other three, can you go 2-1? If you do, that means you're likely 4-1. You finish 8-4. Take it all day. Before the season started, I was hopeful for 7-5 or better. You start 4-0, you better at least go 7-5. Like, that's completely reasonable ask to go 7-5 or better. If somehow, I don't think this is going to happen based on the remaining opponents, but if they fuck around into 6-6, there's no defending that. There's no defending that. Forget the 4-0 start. There's no defending 6-6 in year 3. By that point, you should know this guy, this staff, ain't it. And we know this staff ain't it on the whole. I said before this season, no matter how many games they win, whether it's 7, 8, they luck into 9, there needs to be a couple staff changes because there's a recruiting issue. Okay? You go 6-6, the whole staff are dead men walking. Period. Now, mind you, you can acknowledge Mike has improved the program. He inherited a shit show in 2020. Garbage. This team would blow out 2020. It would blow out last year's team. This team has shown great improvement, right? You just played 3 close games against 3 ranked opponents. But at some point, you need to find a way to at least win one of those. And some of the situations are like, okay, we didn't fuck up in that situation, whether it's 3rd down, red zone, 4th down, whatever, because we don't have talent. That situation right there was, why was that called? Why was that called? Okay? So right now, you can acknowledge Mike has improved, but you should still have both eyebrows raised on whether he is the guy to turn this team into a conference championship level team or better. Again, I'm fine with losing to Clemson. And I'm glad they at least got it close. But man, there was just some big time situations where a couple of them go differently. FSU probably walks away with a win. Like, the way the offense was moving the ball, I expected this offense to struggle mightily to scratch out 20 points. They got 28 and ran the ball with authority for long stretches of the game. Against that front, well, much needed bye week. Be nice to get Fabo back at some fucking point. I'm going to the Georgia Tech game. Better fucking stomp those clowns. But yeah, it's just frustrating because you just needed to win one of these last 3. Like, again, you win last week against NC State. This game today feels completely different. Okay, we fought hard. We lost a close one at Clemson. We fucked up in some situations, but we're 5-2, headed into the bye. 5 games to go. We go 3-2 in those 5, which is reasonable. It means they finish 8-4. Sign me up, but you didn't. You went 0-3 during the stretch, and now you have to go 3-2 just to get to 7-5. We'll see how it goes. Lose big, lose close, win close. Okay, well, last 3 games you lost close, so here we go. Only 5 games to go.